The reform of state-owned enterprises remains a heavily contested topic among Sri Lankans. While there are valid arguments on both sides of the debate, let's explore some of the arguments against SOE reforms and why they may not be as sound as they seem. Two of the main arguments against SOE reforms are the weakness in previous privatizations, which lower the credibility of the SOE reform in the public eye, and concerns about national security. However, positive results of privatization are still visible, like Sri Lanka Telecom. SLT's partial privatization led to increased productivity and quality of service, while the government also made money. But despite partial privatization, the government still had a significant share in the company, meaning that SLT was not operating as efficiently as they could have. Considering our nation's history, this could be due to potential for corruption and favoritism that arises when politicians have control over administration of an organization. An article by the chief financial officer of a leading Sri Lankan conglomerate revealed the inefficiency through statistics of the telecom sector. A privately owned telecom company with more than 17.7 million subscribers manages its operations with about 3,631 staff and has a labor cost of around 10 billion rupees. On the contrary, SLT operates with 8,058 employees and serves about 9.3 million subscribers and has a labor cost of approximately 20 billion rupees. So let's stop and take a second to put that into perspective. Right now, what's happening at SLT in comparison to this privately owned company is that they have more than double the staff, pay double the wages, while only having half the amount of customers. The other argument against SOE reforms is the concern for national security. Some argue that the government ownership and operational management ensure national security, but this is not always true. Even though the government operates the petroleum and electricity markets, we still experience fuel shortages and long power cuts, some of which lasted as long as 12 hours. During the Yahapalan regime, there were fuel lines due to supply chain distributions, and even the internet were blocked on several occasions by the governments over so-called national security concerns. It's important to note that national security has a broader mandate because petroleum products are not manufactured in Sri Lanka and are simply imported in vessels that are not owned by the government. So what we need to realize is that having control over a distribution channel does not ensure national security when the supply chain can be interrupted by many other factors. It's evident that the resistance to SOE reforms is driven more by emotion than logic. In a context where we are emotionally attached, rational decisions don't make any sense. But the challenge is to realize that emotions do not count when we consider the facts and figures of the economic crisis. Partial privatization is a viable solution to overcome the potential for corruption and favoritism in SOEs while still providing benefits to the government in forms of revenue. National security concerns can be addressed through broader mandates. We believe it's time to put aside emotional attachments and consider the facts and figures when taking the necessary steps towards SOE reforms and a better Sri Lanka. For more videos like this, make sure to follow Advocata Institute on YouTube and follow all our social media platforms.